Hi, my name is Kathy Malloy and I work for the Ywca Veterans Program, and I'm here at the YMCA today because this is where we house our male veterans that are homeless and on the streets. We partner with the YM for housing, and they've worked a lot with us through the COVID process. We have them going through temperature checks and sign-ins and everything to make sure that everyone is safe, and food distributions. And we have worked with the Y for many, many years now and have found that this is a great place for our gentlemen to reside.
I'm Program Coordinator here at the Northern Dauphin County Branch YMCA. I just wanted to talk a little bit about a new initiative we started last year, the Ywca Bullying Prevention Program. It's a really important program to me, I think, because it doesn't only impact our youth at the YMCA, it also impacts our adults and staff here at the Y. And that's something I didn't realize until we started training our staff. The program is really meant to change the organization as a whole and how we think about bullying, how we are going to prevent bullying, how we handle bullying when we see it happening, how we maybe hear of bullying happening in our programs, and different things like that. Something that I think we really focus on is making sure that all the adults at our program, in our programs, running our programs, even our volunteers, our swim coaches, and people that are in our before and after school programs, our mentoring program, making sure that they know and they're educated about bullying. Because there are some things that I think some of our staff had said that they realized after the training about the bullying program was that there are all different types of sides when it comes to bullying. So there's not just the person being bullied or the bully, but there's also the bystanders, the followers, the people that are kind of on the sidelines, maybe that they don't necessarily know if they want to follow the bully, but maybe they want to just because they don't want to be bullied, or the bystanders that just stand there and maybe don't do anything. Maybe they're scared to do something about it. They want to help the bully, but they're scared to. So I think it's really important in this day and age to make sure that everybody knows that we're thinking about your mental health when you're here with us at the Y. We want to help you if there's bullying. We want to prevent bullying. We don't want it to happen in our organization to anybody. I really have grown to love this program just because I think bullying impacts everybody, whether it's you have been bullied, whether it's you were a bully, whether it's you have a family member that's being bullied or is a bully and you want to try and stop them from doing it. I think everybody is impacted by bullying in some way. So it's really a kindness thing for me to treat everybody the way you want to be treated. I just think it's a really important, really nice program that we're starting here at the Y.
Good afternoon, all. My name is Rory Retrieve. I'm the president and CEO of Mid-Penn Bank. But more importantly for today, I have the honor of being the chairperson of the 166th annual meeting of the Harrisburg Area YMCA. I would like to now call the meeting to order. It is my pleasure to now introduce you to a group of youth participants from the Camp Curtin Branch YMCA Cornerstone Academy, who will lead us all in the Pledge of Allegiance. Please rise.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. God of love, we trust in you with all our heart and lean not on our own understanding. We acknowledge you in all our ways and in all our meetings, so that you will direct our paths. Father, we do not rely on ourselves for effective results, for we are only human and often make mistakes. It is you who knows all things. So Father, have your divine way in this meeting. Amen.
I'm Mike Cleary, Chairperson of the Harrisburg Area YMCA Board of Directors. I'd like to thank each of you for joining us today virtually for our 166th annual meeting. Your support is very much appreciated. A special thank you to Mid-Penn Bank for being the presenting sponsor of this year's annual meeting, and many thanks to our supporting sponsors for their support. FMA Advisory, the LB Smith Foundation, Prosper Bank, Ralph E. Jones, Inc., River Wealth Advisors, and Wilsback Distributors, Inc. The Harrisburg Area YMCA is extremely grateful to our generous donors who make our programs and services possible. This past year has been a challenging year for our community. From the moment the COVID-19 pandemic struck our area, the Harrisburg Area YMCA has been stepping up, repeatedly answering the call from our community. Our supporters also stepped up to make sure that we had the resources necessary to provide needed services to our community. After pausing our 2020 annual campaign in the spring, we resumed our fundraising efforts in July I'm so thankful to share with you that our 2020 annual campaign raised over $734,000, exceeding our $725,000 goal. This successful annual campaign was chaired by Hugh Simpson and Greg King. Thank you both for stepping up to the challenge. We so appreciate your leadership. Leading our branch campaigns were Robert Kuntz, Camp Curtin Branch, Brian Lentes and Edwin Tishner, East Shore Branch, Darla Green, Northern Dauphin County Branch, and Amanda Brigham and Rodney Jackson from the West Shore Branch. I applaud each of you for your successful efforts. I would like to thank everyone who contributed to our campaign or volunteered their time to help us raise funds. This past year marked our 166th year of service to the greater Harrisburg community. We have a strong heritage and many friends that have helped us to achieve our mission for so many years. We wish to recognize and thank you, our Heritage Club members. Your support has not only shown your concern for the Harrisburg Area YMCA of today, but you are ensuring that the YMCA will be a positive influence for years to come. A complete list of our Heritage Club members is included in our annual report. The Harrisburg Area Y Association typically serves over 14,000 kids and teens in a year, providing a wide range of activities to nurture potential, including STEM programs, sports leagues, mentoring, family nights, and community service projects. Our YMCAs provide quality, affordable childcare and open all our programs to families regardless of their income level. Programs including active older adults ensure that older adults have every opportunity to connect with one another and engage in meaningful activities. We provide activities throughout the year open to everyone in the community, where we provide free health screenings, physical activity programs, nutrition advice, and chronic disease prevention programs. The Harrisburg Area YMCA's impact is only possible thanks to volunteers, donors, and community partners and dedicated staff. We are proud to give opportunities to people to be healthy, to learn, to connect with others, and to give back. At this time, I'd like to introduce Beth Pfeiffer, past chair of the Harrisburg Area YMCA Board of Directors, who will provide the nominating report. Beth?
Good afternoon. Today, I bring before you the results of the work conducted by the nominating committees at each branch and the Board of Directors. A slate of nominations was emailed to you prior to this meeting, listing all those who have been placed in nomination. There is also a link to this document via the chat option. You will note that some individuals are nominated for election and for re-election. With regard to the nominations, let me read from our current bylaws. Nominations may be made by members and must be submitted in writing, supported by the signatures of 5 other members to the chairperson of the nominating committee at least 30 days prior to the annual meeting. This practice shall be in lieu of nominations from the floor at the annual meeting. Since we did not receive any written nominations, I present the nominees as listed. May I have a motion to elect these nominees?
That's so moved.
Do I have a second?
Seconded.
Please secure your vote now using the online poll, which you should see on your screen. While you are casting your votes, I'd like to share a little bit about the Harrisburg Area YMCA volunteer leadership structure. The Harrisburg Area YMCA has a volunteer board of directors, and each branch has a volunteer board of managers. Each board can have up to 25 members. The area board of directors consists of 1 representative from each branch board of managers, plus directors elected by the total membership of the association. Additionally, the YMCA Center for Healthy Living has an advisory board that provides guidance and advice on their chronic disease prevention programs and services. Our newly acquired Friendship YMCA will be establishing a volunteer board of managers in the near future. Our boards are made up of dedicated community leaders who use their diverse talents to help define the Y's long-range strategic plan. Our board firmly believes that the Y plays a vital role in shaping children, supporting families, and providing people of all ages and abilities in our community with programs that can help them realize their full potential. Your vote today helps secure the future of the Harrisburg Area YMCA by appointing new and renewed leaders. The YMCA is made stronger through this process. Thank you for participating in this vote. The ayes have it. Thank you. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce the presentation of our 2020 Volunteers of the Year. It has been a unique year for our YMCA staff as they have stepped up to provide services to our community. We had amazing volunteers who stepped up to help us serve our community. Enjoy.
Our volunteers are an integral part of our team at the Harrisburg Area YMCA. It is our great pleasure to present the 2020 Volunteers of the Year for our 5 branches. The 2020 Camp Curtin Branch YMCA Volunteer of the Year is Daphne McCoy. Shades of Greatness, the LaShawn McCoy Foundation, was founded in September 2010. Under the leadership of President Daphne McCoy, the foundation has been advancing programs and partnerships that improve youth and family outcomes related to educational, financial, and health literacies in underserved communities. Since 2010, Shades of Greatness has provided holiday meals and gifts, school backpacks, supplies and uniforms, computers, tuition and textbook assistance to high school and collegiate students, and health and wellness events for children and their families. Shades of Greatness has also undertaken special community care initiatives. In response to the coronavirus pandemic, Shades of Greatness and the Camp Curtin branch of the YMCA established a collaborative effort to further assist vulnerable members of the Harrisburg community. Shades of Greatness partnered to supply non-food items such as diapers, paper products, and personal care items and package these items into care kits. This partnership allowed more families to quarantine at home safely. Daphne and Shades of Greatness remain a resource in the community, empowering and uplifting socially and economically challenged, at-risk youth and families in Pennsylvania, New York, Missouri, and Florida. Thank you, Daphne and Shades of Greatness, the LaShawn McCoy Foundation, for helping the Camp Curtin Branch YMCA in supporting our community. The 2020 East Shore Branch YMCA Volunteer of the Year is Mel Gooch. Mel has volunteered with the YMCA Race Series for several years. She is always willing to help out wherever and whenever needed and is great at cheering on the runners. She is usually on the course directing runners to ensure they stay on course. Mel shares that she volunteers for the race series because the races fund much-needed services offered by the Y. In addition, she enjoys interacting with people, making new friends, and reconnecting with others. She also shares that the best part of volunteering for the races is the sense of community and knowing that we each have a role to play in achieving a common goal. Thank you, Mel, for sharing your energy and kindness with the East Shore Branch YMCA. The 2020 Northern Dauphin County Branch Volunteer of the Year is Brittany Luzick. Brittany has been a member and participant of the Northern Dauphin County Y for 23 years. She was first a competitive swimmer on the Northern Dauphin Gator swim team, which took her to nationals twice. Now, as a professional in physical therapy, she has come back to the Y to give her time not only as a volunteer swim team coach, but also as a strength and conditioning volunteer coach. Brittany continues to inspire many youth to dream big and achieve their goals. Even at a young age, she demonstrated what it takes to achieve excellent academics and the training disciplines to achieve national recognition. She is a great role model who motivates others to strive for excellence. The YMCA is very grateful to have Brittany volunteer at our branch. She is a humble and an approachable person who loves to share her extensive knowledge with others. We would like to thank Brittany for her commitment to our community and to the YMCA. The 2020 West Shore Branch YMCA Volunteer of the Year is Janet Butterfield. Janet has been a volunteer at the West Shore Branch for the last 10 years, first volunteering as a volunteer timer at swim meets for our YMCA competitive swimming program. When the YMCA began a community collaboration with Hamden Township, Janet volunteered to be the chairperson of the Parent Booster Club to work together with Hamden Township and the YMCA to run a collaboration serving over 75 swimmers each summer. Janet continues to lead the volunteers of our summer program and volunteers over 200 hours in the summer months. In addition to the summer program, Janet is our lead trainer of competitive swimming parents that are involved with the dry side of competitive swimming. Janet regularly volunteers to help parents understand the administrative side of swim meets and competitions. Janet is always supported by her husband, Don, who also volunteers to manage our equipment that is utilized to run swim meets. Thank you, Janet, for giving so much of your time to the West Shore Branch YMCA. The 2020 Harrisburg Area YMCA Center for Healthy Living Volunteer of the Year is Lillian Bates. Lillian has been a volunteer and adult advisor of the Harrisburg Area YMCA TRUE, which is the Tobacco Resistant Unit Program, in collaboration with the Harrisburg Police Athletic League for over 7 years. TRUE is a statewide youth empowerment tobacco prevention program. Lillian has provided countless opportunities for the program in the Harrisburg community to spread their message due to her community connections and resources. Many times throughout the year, she sacrifices her own personal resources and time to make sure the youth involved are where they need to be, and also serves as an adult advisor to the program at their community and statewide events. Without Lillian, the program would not nearly be as strong as it is, not only in Harrisburg, but also in South Central Pennsylvania. She is constantly recruiting new youth to the program and educating the youth and their families on the importance of living a tobacco-free lifestyle. To say the least, Lillian is a community warrior and an asset to the Harrisburg Area YMCA and service area. Congratulations to the Harrisburg Area YMCA 2020 Volunteers of the Year. Thank you for donating your time and talent to help the Harrisburg Area YMCA serve our community. We could not do it without your service.
Good afternoon. I'd like to say how wonderful it is to have you log on to our very first annual meeting broadcast. My name is Rich Curl, and I'm the President and CEO of the Harrisburg Area YMCA. As you know, circumstances haven't allowed us to get together, but then again, nothing has been quite normal over the last year. I'd like to offer our very best wishes to you and your family. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. I too would also like to take a moment to congratulate each of our volunteers of the year and say thank you, and express my gratitude to Leslie Sheeter, who recently completed her term of service on our board of directors. Thank you, Leslie. I would also like to say thanks to those members who recently completed their terms of service on our board of managers, and welcome each of our incoming board members. As we all have been so dramatically impacted over the year, so has our YMCA, desiring to respond to a crisis while taking serious hits threatening our organization's stability. Like most organizations and businesses, when the pandemic hit, we were required to close our facilities. When that occurred, we immediately offered all of our Ys to the medical community if they felt they might become overrun with patients, and made our Northern Dauphin County Y Child Care Center in Halifax available to healthcare workers' children if called upon. At the same time, many of our staff immediately redeployed to handle a variety of emerging issues. As the pandemic quickly spread, all of our branches became involved in various aspects of food preparation, curbside pickup, home delivery, or bulk distribution to other organizations. We brought on extra staff at our 86-room subsidized housing facility in Harrisburg, which serves many elderly individuals to ramp up disinfection frequencies. We hired nurses to medically monitor our residents and contracted with a company to provide frequent hospital-grade disinfection because most of these folks at their age were at high risk. And if we had to shut down, we knew they basically had nowhere else to go. And with what was happening at nursing homes at the time, we were really concerned and wanted to do everything that we could to keep the virus from running through our resident population. Thanks to the diligent efforts of our staff, to date, we have been successful to that end. In collaboration with other organizations, our East Shore YMCA regularly opened its facilities to our city's homeless so they could get a much appreciated hot shower, with medical staff providing intake and a company providing hospital-grade disinfection afterwards. We ramped up and have continued to regularly host blood drives at our YMCAs, as blood demand was and still is way up. And we will continue to do so, especially as long as blood mobiles remain ineffective in meeting social distancing requirements. As I speak, our Camp Curtin YMCA is preparing and delivering 2,000 meals today, 10,000 a week, to city residents and the homeless in locations throughout Harrisburg. Our Camp Curtin Y also continues to provide on-site virtual learning at their Cornerstone Academy, which is so needed for Harrisburg students that haven't set foot in a school classroom in over a year. And each of our other branches have the bandwidth in place to transition back as virtual learning sites as schools find they have to shut that back down again. In fact, nearly all of our youth mentoring and YMCA Center for Healthy Living programs were able to adopt virtual platforms and have continued to mentor youth and deliver chronic disease prevention services throughout the duration of the pandemic. We also stepped up our commitment to assure the healthiest indoor environment possible. Last fall, we installed air purification systems and purchased CDC-endorsed electrostatic disinfection sprayers for all of our Ys. The air purification systems eliminate infectious diseases and allergens from the air, and the electrostatic sprayers are extremely effective in killing viruses on surfaces. By the way, I might add, the merits of the Atmos air purification system we installed was just highlighted on ABC's Good Morning America within the last week. As we work our way back and people begin to return to our facilities, we want our community to know that we have acquired and installed the finest technologically advanced systems to ensure the healthiest indoor environment possible. I'm also excited to share that we recently opened our newest YMCA facility, the Friendship YMCA, formerly known as the Friendship Center, a 51,000 square foot facility in Lower Paxton Township's beautiful 41-acre park. Just opened 3 months ago today. The facility had remained closed since last March's mandated shutdown with an uncertain future. I know there are a lot of folks that are excited to see a YMCA in Lower Paxton Township, and this facility in particular back open again. I'd like to take a moment to thank the Lower Paxton Township Board of Supervisors for their support and confidence in our organization. We look forward to providing many years of service to the township and nearby residents of this beautiful facility. We are also looking forward to breaking ground to construct 4 new homes next to our Camp Curtin Y. With the pandemic hopefully soon behind us, our Cornerstone and Uptown Harrisburg Housing Initiative is getting ready to go. We just completed our design phase, and we expect to break ground and begin construction this year. At this time, I would like to share a video presentation that I hope captures the spirit of our organization as each of our Ys responded to a health crisis unlike anything we have ever experienced.
2020 brought the worst pandemic that the United States has experienced in over 100 years. The Harrisburg Area YMCA was closed to the public for over 100 days, causing our staff to be displaced and our operations interrupted. The world ground to a halt, and we faced uncertainty like never before. But that didn't stop the mission of the YMCA. The staff of the YMCA looked to the community to meet needs as they surfaced. Our YMCA Center for Healthy Living created virtual classrooms and provided resources for those most at risk during the pandemic.
Once COVID hit, we instantly switched all of our chronic disease prevention programs to virtual because we had to keep them going because everyone knows that people with existing conditions are more likely to develop severe symptoms if they would come in contact with the virus. So these programs were more important that we kept them going throughout COVID-19 and still are. Staff took matters in their own hands to make sure the participants had what they needed and would do doorstep drop-offs to their houses to make sure they had everything so that they could continue in the program. A lot of them would say, you know, this is like the only interaction they have with the outside world, with other people other than people that live in their home. So they really did like that. It kind of helped with the social connectedness too, and keeping them, mentally healthy. And a lot of them too, they weren't comfortable leaving for basic day-to-day necessities that they needed, like groceries and food. So what staff would do, if that would come up in a meeting or during the class, we would connect them with the local resources in their area, and it's happened, I can just recall 2-3 different times where within a couple hours, food was delivered to their homes. So they were able to get their day-to-day groceries and necessities that they need because they weren't comfortable leaving at that time.
Disruption in the community's ability to access food and supplies led to pickup and delivery services run out of our gyms and our kitchens. The Camp Curtin, Northern Dauphin, and West Shore YMCAs provided meal service and access to food boxes.
In March 2020, when COVID first hit, there was a big impact on our YMCA. We had to make a lot of adjustments. And we wanted to get right to it. We wanted to get on the ground running. So what we did was we went out to all of our members that were in need of food, milk, cleaning supplies, diapers, anything like that. And we made a list. We went out to them twice a week and we delivered those essential items to them. We were able to just stay in contact with all of our members throughout this time and just be any kind of help we could be to them.
We knew all the food banks were being inundated, and to help dispense and spread out the locations and give alternate days of locations, and we were happy to meet that need. We had a number of members coming in. We did phone calls to our seniors to let them know we were doing it in case they were in need. But the word got around to them. We had members who didn't need for themselves but knew those who were in need and came to pick up and deliver food to their neighbors, some of which can't drive anyway, so they knew they needed someone to get that. So it was great to be a help. And we saw some regulars. Weekly we saw some of the same families. They were there before we opened. It was nice to see. It was a nice way to see our members as well, and some of our staff who were coming to help to collect for somebody else they knew that needed the help. And everybody kind of got to meet in the parking lot and wave at each other from a distance. So that was actually kind of a bright spot in all of the craziness of it all.
Kids were unable to attend school, so the YMCA provided safe spaces with qualified staff to help them learn and grow. At the Camp Curtin, East Shore, and Northern Dauphin County YMCAs, virtual learning spaces took over gyms and shared spaces throughout the year.
Behind me right now, you guys see Cornerstone Academy. We put this in play for our kids that may need a laptop or may need some additional support during their school day. I know it hit us pretty fast, and not every parent is used to how the online schooling works. So what we did is we wanted to step in right away and just give them support for their kid throughout the day, also feeding the kid and giving them any type of help they needed with their schoolwork. We've been getting great feedback as far as our feeding program and also our Cornerstone Academy program. So the community has been telling us we're doing a good job as far as just being there for them, whether they need food, any type of supplies, or just helping their kids during this rough time.
Our members were isolated and sedentary. The Harrisburg Area YMCA provided at-home fitness to help them continue to remain active and engaged. As soon as we were allowed, we started providing masked fitness classes to continue their access to our community.
When we first shut down due to the CDC mandates, I was very worried because I work with a lot of seniors. Several of my classes are senior-based. And so when we were able to start providing the virtual classes, I was thrilled because for some I hadn't seen in 6 months, I was now seeing their names on the list of people participating, and then I knew that they were able to move again and have some normalcy back in their life, because if you're stuck at home, in addition to losing your activity, you're losing your connectedness with others. So it's been great. When we first reopened, we started a limited number of classes. Members were great about it. I will tell you that some of my participants were actually relieved in knowing that everybody was going to keep their mask on. It made them feel a little safer. We have adjusted to it. It's part of our face now. There's a sense of community and a sense of family. So people come to class, they jibber jabber before class, and they work hard, and then they do the same after class. And having been home alone for so many months, it's just the energy is even more. You know, they've learned to stay 6 feet apart and still have that jibber jabber. And it's great to see, and the faces are lighting up. Even if you only see it from the nose up, they're really, really happy to feel like they're back in their community again.
Quality of life risks were prevalent with our resident program, so we provided food, medical support, and relief from rental fees. Reaching out even further, the East Shore YMCA collaborated with several groups in the community to provide relief to the unsheltered community.
I'm really grateful and thankful for the YMCA during this pandemic, because it was a key linchpin for us in our efforts for those who are unsheltered, who are on the streets facing homelessness. You see, when the shutdown happened, the world around people who are on the streets shut down with it. All their resources shut down. The important thing they didn't have access to was showers, because of, everything was mandated to be shut. So the Capital Area Coalition on Homelessness, which I'm a part of, and all the different shelters and the city and the county, we all got together and tried to come up with a plan. And we asked the YMCA, which had been providing shelters during the regular year, if we could work with them to figure a way of social distancing and allowing for people to come in for showers in a regulated way. And that would provide a safe venue for the outreaches that did not and weren't allowed to do direct outreach unless it was done in a safe venue. And so the YMCA provided that safe venue for the months of the shutdown, and we were able to give showers to over 250 separate people who were on the streets.
Blood was in short supply, so we provided safe, socially distanced locations to host blood drives at the East Shore, Northern Dauphin County, and West Shore YMCAs.
In March, in 2020, we were scheduled to have a blood drive, before shutdowns. And once that blood drive occurred, and it was very successful, actually, more so than any of our drives in the past, they reached out to us because we had such a great setup where a lot of those sites were closed, obviously, or they had very limited capacities, and they could not use the blood mobiles, which they would typically do. So they actually had to go indoor drives, which is not typical for them. So their sites were limited to start. So we actually had a gym that was not being used at that time, and we could fit a lot of potential donors in. So we had more successful drives than we've ever had in the past. We've helped, I think, with the donations this past year, over 1,000 people were able to receive blood, and that's huge. I mean, not many places in this community can say that.
We looked different suddenly, but we were always the same. Mission isn't something that you set on a shelf and dust off occasionally to impress others. It is an action, a daily discipline of looking outward into the community and meeting the needs of the most vulnerable among us. 2020 reminded us that our staff is resilient, strong, creative, and adaptable, and that we are meant to be people of action.
I think the YMCA is critical during COVID because we're more than a gym, we're more than a fitness center. We are a community. We are a place where people come for all that familiarity, for all of that comfort. Some people come and they walk on the track for 3 laps, and then they just hang out for a little while because it's their social life. And coming into the Y and being able to participate in a class or an activity for however long or however little bit of time makes them feel like they're normal again.
There's a mission. I mean, there's a reason to be here and a reason to serve. So, and that it's not just a job. So, It started out as a job for me, and I'm still here 26 years later. It's a career. It's a great place to be.
Without the YMCA, the community would just be split. It wouldn't be as strong. I think the YMCA is just that place where everybody feels comfortable and everybody can just count on it. So we're like that rock for our community.
I've noticed the Y rises to the needs of the community at that time, at any given time. No matter what's going on in the world, if you look back in the history, I mean, it could be wartime, it could be pandemic time. The Y always seems to rise to fulfill those needs. And that's what needed to be done. We're at our best at times like this. The Y always is at their best at times like this.
That was a great video. I want to share, I've been with the YMCA my entire career. I've always wondered what or how Ys might be counted on to jump in when a major emergency or disaster strikes. When the pandemic hit in March, we knew we were facing an unprecedented financial crisis, and we were going to take our lumps. We also knew as a community-based organization, we needed to respond and respond fast. I'm really proud of our organization, of how our staff and volunteers jumped on board while many were dealing with their own difficulties. And I am so appreciative of how many annual campaign supporters, along with our United Way, came to our aid. We kicked off our annual fundraising drive in March, as Mike had shared. We quickly had to shut it down, relaunched in July, and reached our goal in September, which was an amazing accomplishment. We received very generous support from our donors, while our United Way graciously provided several much appreciated COVID relief grants. Now, 1 year ago yesterday, March 17th, 2020, we were required to close our doors and found ourselves facing an uncertain future. And I mention this again because our membership is one of the legs that we depend on. It's a financial leg of our organization. And a sudden prolonged closure across our entire organization was just not anything that we had ever faced. Even when we were allowed to reopen in June, attendance was running at a fraction of what it used to be. Yet so many of our members, though not coming through our doors, chose to stay with us. I'm so appreciative of how many members stuck by our side when we needed them the most. Each year, we always share how much aid we provide to a community. This year, our YMCA community, our donors, our members, staff, and volunteers really came to our aid so we could actually actively respond to the crisis we found ourselves in. Like many businesses, organizations, and institutions, we have to work our way back. But I am confident we will rebound and be stronger than ever. I'd like to close by saying we're all in this together. Support your neighbors, support your local businesses, your family, your friends, and make sure you take care of yourself. And as you look after your health, we'd love to see you back at the YMCA. Thank you and stay healthy.
Thank you, Rich. That was a great report, and it was a really beautiful video. That video underscores the importance of the YMCA to the entire Central Pennsylvania community, particularly at a time when that community needed it most. And all that doesn't come for free. I mean, of course, the YMCA has tremendous volunteers, as we saw earlier, but a lot of the programs and the financial assistance does cost money. And through that annual campaign that both Mike and Rich mentioned earlier, that's how the YMCA accomplishes all that financial assistance and the support for the programming. I'd like to introduce a testimonial from Logan and Sarah, whose son Henry is enrolled in our East Shore YMCA child care program. The family will share how the YMCA has helped their family during this difficult time.
Henry was due in May, and we had everything lined up for him. We both work at a Christian school in Mechanicsburg, and then when COVID hit, things kind of fell apart, and we suddenly found ourselves either having to choose between abandoning our ministry and me having to go find another job that had some higher pay, and her having to stay home with him, or finding some childcare that we could afford. And when we looked around for places, obviously the cost was a huge factor, and also just the location and just how safe the place made us feel. And a lot of places were shut down. We called quite a few places right around in our neighborhood. They were all shut down. And then we found the Y, and we came and did a tour, and were very impressed by what we saw. And they offered us great scholarships.
It seemed like I was having to decide between being a stay-at-home mom full-time, and then he would have to find a job somewhere else, or I could continue to work at the school and send him to somewhere we could afford. And the YMCA here was like one of the best options we had, pretty much the only option we had when it came down to it. And it was just the perfect world of everything. It's on our way to our work, and it is safe. The staff is very friendly, and they've been helpful even to me as a first-time mother to be able to give me advice on what to do with Henry, with different things that come up. And so yeah, we really love it here.
Given we both work at a small Christian school, and the salary for small schools like that is not high. So we really budgeting was a problem. We do live on a pretty tight budget month to month. And when we heard the scholarships that were available, she shed a few tears, and I did too a little bit. So it was an overwhelming feeling because all of a sudden we didn't know how I would make it through this year
an overwhelming feeling of relief. Like we can still do what we love, and we can send Henry to a place that we love, and yeah, it would all work out.
You never really know just how far how much difference one donation can give. They're just with us even. The amount of just the interaction we've been able to have with the students that we wouldn't normally have, and that's only because our son is able to be taken care of here. You just don't know, because when you impact somebody, it will then go and impact somebody else, and it's a domino effect from there. So there are a lot of people I know who depend on this great ministry and have for over 100 years now, and it's amazing to look back and see the impact that the Y has had and continues to have today in all kinds of communities all over the world, and to be a part of that is very special. I know that probably once our son is out of care here, we will probably also start donating to the Y and giving back because of all that was given to us. So we're very grateful for that, and I know that many other people are too.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Greg King. I am a volunteer YMCA board member, and along with my fellow board member, Susan Graham, we are co-chairs of the 2021 annual campaign for the YMCA. From the video and the testimonial from Logan and Sarah, you can really tell the importance of why we raise money and the importance behind the money that we raise for the Y. So I'm excited to announce our goal this year is again $725,000. And I'm going to announce the leadership team across our divisions now that are going to help us raise those goals. I will also point out that we have 3 drawings that Yvette's going to do at the end of my presentation here for some great prizes. So stay tuned, and I'll go through this pretty quickly, but we're excited about our campaign leadership team and the goals that they have as well. So we're going to start off for our West Shore division. Paul Hedden is our chair for that, and they have a goal of $90,000. So good luck to the West Shore branch and Paul for driving that. Jill Campbell is leading the Northern Dauphin County division with a goal of $60,000. So all the best to Jill in driving towards those results. DJ Healy is leading the Camp Curtin branch with a goal of $125,000. So we want to wish the Camp Curtin branch all the best in their goal to raise $125,000. For the East Shore branch, we have Devin Schwastik and John Klubasecki are leading that branch, and they have a goal of $120,000. So last but not least is the area board of managers, and we have a lofty goal of $330,000. So I want to thank all of our board members and the branches for all the things that they do to drive to those results, and everyone on this call for your support as well. They said the videos and the testimonials show you why and how important the funds that we raise are for the Y, especially now during the times of pandemic. The Y has been helping people help themselves and their families and the communities for over 166 years. We help to identify the needs of the community, provide no-cost solutions, as well as financial assistance to those in need. This past year has been a great example of how the YMCA has met the needs of those in the community. I've never been more committed to achieving this goal as I am today. Our community members will need us more than ever going forward. We have been through many challenging times before. Each time our community has looked to the Y to provide support and leadership through programs to guide our youth and build stronger, more connected community. The Harrisburg Area YMCA has been a consistent and trusted community resource dedicated to the development of youth through programs that engage their minds, strengthen their bodies, and instill lifelong leadership skills. Once again, with the support of our volunteers and the generosity of our donors, the YMCA will step up to meet the needs of our youth, and in doing so, our families, and help revitalize our community. The Y is where youth and families are able to reclaim their health and well-being, and where together we will reclaim our community. At this time, I'm going to announce some early results of our campaign by division in support of our $725,000 goal campaign. So first off, our Camp Curtin branch already has 7 new gifts totaling $18,750. So way to go, Camp Curtin. Great start to the campaign. Our East Shore branch been very, very busy. 44 new gifts totaling $30,644. Way to go, East Shore branch. Northern Dauphin County has not been quiet either. They have 30 new gifts totaling $15,175. Way to go, Northern Dauphin County. Of course, can't count out West Shore branch, right? 32 new gifts totaling $22,141. Way to go, West Shore branch. And last, of course, not least, is our area board. 20 new gifts totaling, drum roll, Ywca, $31,439. So that is a really good start. If you add all those together, we have 133 new gifts across the branches in the area, and it totals up to $118,149, about 16% of our goal of $725,000. So great start already. I wish we were in person to do this, but we know that circumstances require us to be virtual, but we're excited about the campaign. I thank you for joining. I'm going to turn it over to Yvette Lynch. We've got some great prizes to make a drawing from. And again, I want to thank you for all your support. I want to thank Hugh Simpson for his support last year as co-chair. Yvette, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thank you, Greg. Thanks for chairing this campaign with Susan. We appreciate it. Hi, everyone. I'm the Director of Development here with the Harrisburg Area YMCA, and I have the fun part of this program. I get to award some prizes to all of you who have joined us today. We had a staff person writing down your names as you joined us, and they're in this little container here, and I'll be pulling your names. But I want to thank Greg King and DH Distributing for donating some great prizes for today. First, I have a portable monitor that you can win. That'll be the first drawing. Next, we have a UV shield sanitizer for your iPhone, which is really handy nowadays for us. We also have a Inspire 2 Black Fitbit, and we added 2 prizes from the YMCA. We have a YMCA backpack that is filled with Y goodies, and a YMCA laptop bag that also has some Y goodies in it. So first we're going to draw for that awesome monitor. And I'm going to dig down in, I promise I'll make sure that we get to the bottom. And Clorinda Williams is winning the monitor. Clorinda, we'll make sure we get a hold of you. We have emails as people registered, so we'll be reaching out to you for that. Next, we're going to pull for the UV sanitizer for your phone. Thomas Bream. We know Tom. Tom serves on our West Shore board. Thanks, Tom. Good job. You get the UV sanitizer. Next, for the Fitbit. Caitlin McKiernan. Caitlin, we'll reach out to you. You win the Fitbit. Good job. Now we're going to pull for the YMCA backpack full of goodies. Devin Schwashtik. Good job, Devin. And next, for the laptop bag. Here we go. Oh, I pulled two. Susan Lucas. Susan, you win the laptop bag. Congratulations. And that's what I have for today. Thanks everyone for joining us. I'm going to turn it back over to Rory Retrieve, who will conclude our meeting. Thanks everyone. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Yvette. Congratulations to our campaign leadership, Greg King and Susan Graham, and also thank you to Hugh Simpson for coordinating the last year's campaign along with Greg's help. We're off to a fantastic start. Congratulations to Clorinda, Tom, Caitlin, Devin, and Susan on their big wins. I'm a little jealous of that UV sanitizer. Tom, you might have to send one of those over my way. So we're off to a great start. Please consider supporting the great work of the Harrisburg Area YMCA if you're able to do so. Thank you for joining us for this presentation of our 166th annual meeting of the Harrisburg Area YMCA, and the meeting is now adjourned.
Good afternoon, my name is Leroy Brown. I'm with the Camp Curtin YMCA, part of the maintenance department. I've been introduced to this project by Ashton. And the few things that I did to help out is, some painting, moving furniture, and just helping to uphold the building. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Ashton Leon. I'm the maintenance supervisor at the YMCA Camp Curtin. Been here around 6 months. Around 6 months ago, we started the renovations upstairs. It consists of painting, flooring, a little bit of electrical, a little bit of ceiling work. We've definitely put in a lot of work and a lot of dedication to it. So We've also worked with a couple of great outside companies locally. We look forward to having the kids up here and enjoying themselves when they come to the Camp Curtin branch.